Ramon, how you doing, buddy?
Very, very well, sir. How are you doing?
Good to see you. Welcome back to Drive By News, the new weekly segment that we are trying to pull off here. Um, there's plenty to talk about, obviously, but before we dive into any of that, if you could just let everyone know who you are, where they can find you, and what you do exactly.
Hi, I'm a lap dancer. I'm normally sort of doing a lot of. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. Right, sorry. My channel's called Hit or Miss TV. We do film trends, news, and reviews. And during the week, I'm going to start doing some gaming and stuff like that. But streaming every single day of the week, and then on Sundays we're here on Film Trigger.
Yep, yep, that's it. And if you are following my channel, then you know what I do. I do the same thing that he does. So there's a couple things I want to dive into. You and I were kind of talking a little bit backstage, so I'm going to
Yep.
jump right into this right here. Army of Thieves, the zombie-less Army of the Dead prequel gets a Halloween release date, like this year. Like it comes out this year, 2021. Yeah, the trailer just dropped for it. Did you get a chance to watch that trailer?
Yep. Of course. Yep. Do your thing, and I'll.
Well, I honestly I like the character. I forget what exactly that character's name is off the top of my head.
Mateus is.
Yeah,
I
that's it.
forgot his name. And yeah, he was one of the best ones in it, definitely.
Yeah,
And
he was
yeah.
he was nice comedic relief, but
Yeah.
I don't know. This trailer just it didn't do it for me. I feel like Army of the Dead is not grounded quite yet. You know what I mean? Like to start doing the prequels. Like I feel like I want to dive more into Army of the Dead world before we
Mm.
start jumping into the mythology behind it. And then you're obviously taking out the dead. The dead is not a part of it.
Mm.
So yeah,
Maybe,
I don't know how
maybe,
I don't know how I
maybe
feel
this
about
should
that.
come out first. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they should have done this film first, and I don't know.
Well, yeah. The thing is, the Army of the Dead, all the talk that goes behind, oh, actually, it's an alien movie, or it's all these different thoughts. Like I don't know, like I would love for that world to build up, like more
No, I
so.
understand where you're coming. Yeah, exactly. Before jumping somewhere else. It's kind of yes, it's a bit soon
How
for
did you
that
feel
sort
about
of.
Army of the Dead anyway?
Right, before I get into that, yeah, honest, just genuine, guys. Yeah, for anyone that's watched me on my channel or seen me anywhere else, I'm hardcore fanboy for Zack Snyder. Like ridiculous
Yep.
fanboy of Zack Snyder's. So I was hyping up this movie like it's going to be the best thing since sliced bread because I loved Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, that's
I
good. That
think
was a
it's I
good one.
think it's a, yeah, I think for a remake I thought that was a fantastic film. Again, I watched that quite recently again and I absolutely loved that film. I think Army of the Dead fell flat on its face. Like I know a lot of people love it and I think it had a lot going for it, but there was too many things in the movie that pulled me out of the experience of enjoying it. And there's like one major thing in the movie. There's a load that I
What
could say really, but there's one thing that just makes me go, well, the whole film's pointless.
what is that? What is
The
that?
very, very beginning of the movie, the dude who plays, I forgot his name, the Asian actor who gets him to do the job, the heist. So he gets them to do the heist. They go into Vegas. That guy's main mission is to get the head of the female zombie.
Right.
They walk into Vegas and she jumps on a car. Why didn't the guy just shoot her there and then take her head and walk out the door and it's like game over?
Yeah,
That's
that
one. Wait. Sorry, because it's really because I really wanted to love this movie and it's like it's it hurts me to say this. Like I'm not like that with a lot of films, but because I like Zack Snyder so much and I was like, edging on like, please be a good movie. At the very end of 90% of the end of the film, that same soldier guy goes out to get the zombie girl and he goes out and finds her by the same car that's by the entrance to where they came in the first place. So if he chops off her head, why did he go all the way back into where the zombies are? He just had to walk out the door. It was right behind him. Like the crate is right behind him. He chops off her head. The entrance is there and he just wanted the head. So why didn't he just leave?
Yep. I don't know. I
Like,
You're right. You're right. You're
so
right. That is
it's I know it's just an action film, and I'm thinking too much. Sorry, but it's just because when in perspective, I go, I've just watched Justice League, and it's 4 hours of this in-depth, mad, incredible, brilliant film, which I love. I love Zack Snyder's Justice League, and then I'm like, his next film, Army of the Dead, and I'm like, right, he set the tone of his, and Netflix have taken off the reins, do what you want to do, how you want to do it. I'm thinking, right, Zack Snyder's going to go crazy with this, and Army of the Dead just kind of felt like. It just felt like that to me. It's like, yeah, you got just go and do a zombie film, and it just didn't. I don't know. It just didn't grip me the way I wanted it to. I know that's going to upset people, but
well, to me, it felt like there was a lot missing. Like there's a lot to the story that we're just being hinted at, and we're not being told yet. Because at first it seems like a heist movie, but then it's not. They just want the zombie head. And then there's that whole alien concept. You know about the alien concept?
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
Because you see the two spaceships in the air right at the beginning of that.
Yeah.
So there's that. I really would have loved to have dived a little deeper into that aspect of it and create this lore. Now, what Snyder does do very well is set the ground for another movie to really hit home.
Definitely, yeah.
And that's why Justice League was so good, because he set it up, the tone for that in Batman v Superman. And that's why, like, now when I see this, when I see the trailer for this prequel here, I don't get excited. Like, I was like, no, this is going backwards, but like not even on the cool stuff. This is more of a heist thing. Now I would really like if they took where the zombies come from and how they were created and infuse that into this storyline, then yes, I would totally be down for that. But I wish they would have shown something like that in the trailer if that was the case.
I think it is a strange, like you say, I think it's a strange decision. It's not that I'm against the idea of this film. I mean, I'm going to watch it anyway, because even though I've just said all that about Army of the Dead, if Zack Snyder's doing, say, for example, it ain't going to happen, but say it did say he's going to do another Justice League, I'll be the first one in the queue, mate. Like, I'm not saying... I think the reason I'm so passionate about it is just because I wanted it to do well. I wanted it to be brilliant. And after like Dawn of the Dead, I'm thinking I know what he's going to do. And it just, for me, it just didn't hit right. But like you say, I think this trailer of this didn't like grab me like, oh, wow, this is going to be amazing. But I still think it'll be a good film. I think because the cast looks pretty good. If that guy, the German guy, is the lead as well, I think he'll be good. I think it'll be a good film. I think,
I don't doubt that it will be a fun movie for what it is. But my thing is like, why? Like, I just want to know how it's going to fit into the Army of the Dead lore. Like, is this going to lead up to the Army of the Dead, or is this just his solo story, kind of just side mission sort of thing? That's what I'm more curious about.
I think that's probably what it'll be. Well, again, assumptions. I think it'll probably be, it's obviously going to be a prequel to him and what. Oh, there was another thing in the film as well. Oh my God, this just bugs me as well. The very beginning, Dave Bautista or someone whoever it is that finds him, I forgot who it is, and he says, I crack safes, blah, blah, blah. And then they say to him when they're in the warehouse, it's this numbered safe. And he was all like excited like a kid, and he was like, that's an uncrackable safe. That's the uncrackable one. It's impossible. It's uncrackable. Then he gets there to the safe, puts his head on the door and goes, and then it opens. That's one more thing, right? Then another one, right? Just before the safe, they're in that hallway, right? And what's the guy's name? Not Mekhi Phifer. It's the black dude with the chainsaw. Forgot his name, the actor. I love him as well.
I know who you're talking about.
Right? I mean, yeah. And they're down there, and they go, wait, there's booby traps. So he goes upstairs in the lift to bring down zombies to push them on to the traps.
Oh,
right.
Yeah,
but there's thousands of dead bodies down there already with them. Why don't they just pick them up and throw them onto the traps?
I think I mentioned that in my review for that.
Oh, really?
I think I did.
And I know it sounds like I'm really like digging the mood, like putting it down, but it's because there's so many things. Like every scene in it, there's something, and I'm like, dude, come on, like, and it kind of took me out of the experience. I think it started so well. But I think with a heist movie, obviously no zombies. I think that obviously it's gonna be a prequel, but I think it will definitely be. They're not gonna leave it and not make more zombie movies because I think he already said like he's got the idea for like 3, 4 films. So I think,
Yeah,
I think he'll,
he's got the idea to start a universe here is I think the
yeah,
plan, but it's also gonna uh from what I remember, if I remember this correctly, it's also gonna pan out into an animated series as well.
that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, which okay,
yeah.
sure.
I'm up for that. Yeah,
Whatever. But the trailer itself for Army of Thieves it was a little lackluster for me. I'm like
yeah,
you, I'll watch it. I'm a Zack Snyder fan. I'll give it a
yeah,
go, but I'm not gonna just love it just because it is a Zack Snyder film. I'm gonna
yeah.
critique it, honestly, and
Honestly, I did it. I'm not, and I'm going on about it, but I did. I found it really hard to be negative about. I know it sounds like I'm doing it blasé now, but at the time, like I'd done the review of Army of the Dead, I was so disappointed because, as I say, I've been like a hardcore dude. I must have seen the Ultimate Edition of Batman. We even spoke about the soundtrack the other
yeah.
day, like that. I love the soundtrack of Dawn of Justice, and I've seen the Ultimate Edition. Probably, this is honestly, I must have watched that 15, 20 times, man. Honestly, like
What
I'm
the
the
Ultimate
ultimate
Edition?
of Ultimate Edition of Batman versus Superman. Yeah.
Only 15 times?
Yeah, yeah. I think no, it might be even be 20 times. Honestly, I've seen the Justice League, the new Justice League one, I think about 12, 13 times. I watched
Yeah.
it 3 times. Like that first day, I watched it 3 times in a row.
Yeah,
Like,
my
and
son
I'm
my
not like that. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
like that with films, but
my son and I watched it, I think 3 times the first day it came out. I mean, we put hashtag release a Snyder cut on our very first video that we did on Film
wow,
Trigger. So, like, we've been like
that's
it's
brilliant.
like it was a big moment for us to actually just like to
I
see
didn't
it come to
realize you was
fruition.
as hardcore as I am. Oh, that's good then.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I need you see the poster back here?
yeah,
My
yeah. Of
my
course,
BBS poster? Oh, yeah, I'll send you some stuff privately, man. I made videos, hashtag release a Snyder cut. I was, even,
and I
what's his name? Ray Porter even likes some of the images that I made of
oh
Dark
wow,
Side.
okay.
Yeah, I'll share that stuff with you some other time. But so Army of Thieves, we're a little mid-grade excited
Yeah, I
about it.
mean, I'm still definitely like as soon as it comes out, I'll be like one of the first. Like you, I'll be jumping on it to watch it and review it, and and I think it'll be good. But yeah, it's not you're not like looking at the trailer and thinking, oh my god, this is going to be amazing. But I think it'll be a good film though.
All right, so moving right along, we'll stick with some DC here. There has been some footage, not released, but it was shown at
The
the
thing
con
this
that
week,
was
yeah,
con. It was just appeared. I
this
can't remember
week,
the name of the
yeah,
con.
yeah. Is it Movie Con or one of those? It's something
Yeah,
like that,
something
isn't
like
it?
that.
Yeah. Monday,
Yeah, one
Tuesday,
of the
Wednesday, like last week. Yeah,
yeah, and they showed some clips of the Batman, Matt Reeves, the Batman. Um, Now I'll put it this way: I am excited for this movie. I'm excited for any Batman movie. I'm be honest with you.
yeah,
Um, but he does. They do go into some detail of what to expect. Reeves promises that this is a radically different from other Batman movies. How we haven't seen anything grounding it in the way Year One does. Now, Year One, pardon me, is that comic book series where it's Batman in his first year of being Batman. He's still inexperienced, just kind of fumbling his way through things. But I don't know. I hear this, and we haven't seen anything grounding it in the way Year One does. Reeves explains. Isn't that what the entire Nolan series was about?
yeah. And the other thing I'm a little bit confused about with that, again, I don't want to throw it off, but wasn't this the film that Affleck was supposed to be doing initially?
Yeah,
So if
yeah.
it was, then how
It
could
could,
he have gone from being the older Batman to then going back to it would
well,
the
that
story
that
unless they've
that
changed this story. They must have changed the story, I
they've
guess.
changed it
Right,
completely.
right, right,
Yeah,
right.
they took Batman property, and since the Snyder Cut stuff happened, and Ben Affleck left, Matt Reeves took over and just readapted the entire story
Mm.
into a year one uh, sort of concept. But him just saying grounding it in the way year one does, that he hasn't really seen anything like that. I just thought that's what the
That's
Nolan
true. Yeah,
series was.
you've pretty much summed it up there. If that's the case, yeah, yeah.
Uh, but they say he's really working out his rage. Pattinson says all the fights are very personal. He uses various weapons, pipes included, to beat down enemies. We quickly get our first look at Andy Serkis as Alfred, which I'm very curious to see that
Oh, I saw that.
Alfred.
I saw the pictures.
Oh, there's a picture of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There is a picture. I'm not
Oh,
sure if it's on here. I'll find it and send you it. There is a picture of him. Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. But so let me see, where was I? All right. We can't wait for you to see the Batman in theaters next year, Reeves concludes. This leads to a very slightly updated version of the original trailer from 2020's DC Fandom event, available here, taking the screen a little bit more, involving Catwoman and a red 2022 slate at the end. I don't know. Anyway, but the way they describe this movie is it's going to be a very emotional journey for Batman, which
Yep.
I like the way Pattinson describes it. Like he takes his rage out, on each individual person. So that tells me that he's definitely, like putting himself emotionally into it. Which again, I feel like we've seen before. I'm kind of worried that it's just going to be we've seen this type of
I know
thing.
what you're thinking. Yeah, the way where you're coming from, I never thought of it like that. But yeah, it seems like they're kind of doing a back to not an origin story, but it kind of is kind of going back to the beginning of things. And it's like you say, the Nolan trilogy is it's
That's what,
brilliant. Like it's
yeah, but
so great, and
that's what they did.
they've
Uh,
already done that. Yeah.
One thing I probably scanned past it, but one thing I did read when I was reading this earlier that I did like is that he's going to make Gotham its own character, which is something it's a good aspect. He says in in the um, in the original Tim Burton series, Gotham was very theatrical.
Yeah.
He says in
Yeah.
the Nolan series, it was more grounded. You're in Chicago or Pittsburgh or wherever. Um, he says in this one, he doesn't want you to really recognize where you're at. He wants Gotham to be its own entity and be its own character. And
I think I think every one of the movies, other than I think it's the one with Mr. Freeze, even though I love that and it's silly, I think they've all. I've never had a problem with any of the, within reason. I've never really had a problem with any of the movies, the setting of Gotham. I think they've all had their own character. I think they've all had their own style, as you say, like Tim Burton. They've all had their own way of doing it.
I'll agree with you to a point. Obviously Tim Burton, his city was its own character. I really enjoyed that aspect. The first Batman Begins, I really enjoyed Gotham in that one. I
Yeah,
felt again it was like its own character, and especially like when they were in the shallows, like you could just you can feel how deprived the people were
yeah,
there.
yeah.
But it was when The Dark Knight came out. That's when I feel like we lost the character of the city. Like
Mm.
I just didn't. I felt like I was just in a regular Chicago business world.
Yeah, I know what you mean when you look at it. Yeah, I suppose you have never thought about it. It's not. Yeah,
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 but
you're right. Yeah.
so I am excited for that, and I am excited to see how Pattinson takes this role, and we'll see what comes of it, man. But are you? I know you're huge on Ben Affleck, but are you excited to see Pattinson don the cow?
No, not at all. I'm not looking forward to it at all. But that's not just for the sake of it. It's because I'm still kind of. I'm gonna be butthurt as a fan that I'm gutted. I'm being honest, man. Like I'm still gutted, like that Affleck ain't doing it because it's. I won't go on too long. I'm sorry, but it's like it's quite obvious. I'd say 80% of fans, like hardcore fans, wanted that version of Batman, and they
Yeah.
didn't want. Same with Cavill. No one wants him to stop as Superman. It's like they've not listened to what the actual the people that are going to go, you know.
Yeah,
But
they're
that,
too busy trying to sweep all this crap under the rug, and
yep, and
go a
they've
different
pushed this
direction.
ahead. So I've been negative towards it, but that's not to blame on the film. It's not to blame on Pattinson, because maybe it's a good thing that my brain's like that, because I'm going to go in like I've seen the trailer and I'm like, yeah, 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 but I'm going in kind of blind. So maybe it's a good thing, because I might come out and go, wow, that was like I hope it is. I might go in there and be like, wow, this is an incredible. I think he'll be great anyway, because he is a very good actor, but it's still a bit like that
Yeah,
dude.
it's still
It's just a bit,
it's
yeah.
reopening a wound. You know, it's
It's
like
yeah. I don't know. It
because
just seems such a strange decision at the time that like I
yeah,
don't. Yeah,
when
it's such a
when
strange
you're
one.
promising all these different movies, you know, and you got Ben Affleck solo Batman, and everyone's like, awesome, because that was the best part of Batman v Superman was like that
That
Batman scene, you know,
warehouse. Oh,
and
God.
I think collectively everybody thought that, even if you didn't like the movie or you did, you know,
Yeah,
like everyone loved
he was
the Batman fight scene,
amazing.
and then they're like, okay, well, we're gonna give you more than that, more of that, psych.
You know what? Yeah, because we're not going to go like mad into all the Batman versus Superman thing. When people say to me, "Why do you like that film so much?" Right? I don't know if I've said this on here before, but I know this is really, really dark and it's really, really morbid. But he was like Ben Affleck at the time was going through problems with like his real life, like
Yeah,
Mrs. Alcoholic, like a bad time in his life. He
yeah,
was in a bad time, and so when you look at him on screen in that movie, he looks not a horrible way, dude. You look terrible in that movie, and I think that makes that version of Batman is what you wanted in that character as well. And he just reflected it. It's for me when I'm watching it, he reflected it. He looks so drawn and so, and that's for me is why I think it's the best Batman, because you're not going to get a more real version for me watching it. You're not going to get a more honest version of what Batman is as that particular version of Batman is. You're just not going to get that again, and it's
yeah.
that's why.
It was a perfect storm, like
Yeah,
in a
that's
sense.
exactly that. Yeah,
A perfect storm that led him to perform that role the way he did, and I don't know, it's unfortunate, but it
yeah, yeah.
definitely came out with one hell of a Batman. So yeah, so the new Batman, they showed some footage. We haven't seen it yet. I am excited. I do get really excited to see footage from that movie because I'm so damn curious about it. But moving along, again, I got one more DC thing here. Something that I know you've been.
But I do think it'll be. I think that'll be a surprise hit. I hope it is. I think because people have kind of like me, they're kind of there's a lot of fans are a bit like with it, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe it might be one that comes out and people go, you know what, it's a really good film, and then people just it explodes to be a great film. I do hope that that's the case. It's not that I don't want it. I don't want it to fail. I want any Batman film to do well. So I hope that when it does come out, it explodes and like all the reviews are great. Everyone's like, this is amazing, and I do hope that that's the case, because I just want good Batman movies.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough. I'm right there with you, Ramon. Um, Speaking of Batman, let's talk about Titans. Uh, Season 3, episode 5. Now I am going to preface here. Are we going to do spoilers or what?
It's up to you. Like I can hold back if you want. It's up to
It's
you.
no, I like talking spoilers, you know. So here's your spoiler alert. We're going to be talking spoilers of Titans season 3 leading up to episode 5. Now, you are the one who got me back into this. Your excitement for Titans. You're sending those messages like you're just like,
Oh
"Oh my god. Oh my god, did you guys see that?" You're like
yeah,
like
oh my god, you got to watch it. It's amazing.
yeah, so and I followed um Titans from the beginning when it was on DC Universe. And they lost me in season 2, like middle season 2. The first season was pretty okay, like it was run of the mill. Season 2 just went down hard. Like
Lost lost a bit of its magic, didn't it?
yeah, my son, who was, you know, he's a teenager right now, but this was 3 years ago, so he's like a younger teenager, and he just looks at me and goes, "Wow, I really love that they put a show of superheroes, you know, together and don't show them doing anything superhero like." He's like, "They didn't do anything, you know. There was just
Yeah, that's
nothing but
true.
it was nothing but just dialogue and story building and all this slow paced stuff."
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But season 3 seems to have rectified that, and you got me to jump back on board, and so I did. I watched the first 3 episodes and was floored when they took out um
Hank,
Hank. Yeah. When they took Hank out, like that to me was just like, wow, okay, this is
devastating, man.
it was
It's
devastating. It was trickery. Like there
I
was
didn't want it to happen, man. Like,
yeah,
even when I was doing my reaction to that, yeah, I was watching it, and when the thing was put on his chest. So if you've not seen it, ladies and gents, like you said, spoilers. He's got a bomb implanted in his chest. Straight away, I'm going, no, they're not going to do that because by the end of the episode, it's like, oh, this is how we're going to. But as that happened, I was like, and I looked at the camera and I went, you know what? I really hope that he don't survive, not because I want to lose the character, but because it's going to be devastating, and that's what makes great shows like
yeah.
Game of Thrones used to do it. No one is safe, and I think that's the early Walking Dead used to do it. Like you get so attached to a character and they're taken from you, and it's like, oh my god, and that's what draws you into and being careful of who you care about and stuff like that. And I was devastated with him, man. Like I was like, come on, like
Yeah,
yeah,
they got me with the false trigger. You know, the gun was actually
oh,
the trigger for it. And I'll tell you what. So I watched that, and I just didn't have time. I didn't watch episode 4 or 5 until this morning, but I was really excited to jump into it and see where are these people now from that event. And I'll tell you what, man, I was a little underwhelmed with how they carried on from that. I'm hoping they'll jump back into the emotional effects of that happening, but
I think they will. I
right now
think they
it's like
will.
Superman seemed or Superboy, whatever,
Superboy.
seemed more upset than Dove did. Like he was
Yeah, yeah,
really
yeah, yeah,
beating
yeah.
himself up, and she's like, "Ah, it's my fault. Give me a hug." Like I don't know. I was like, it was just a really underwhelming coming from that episode into the
Yeah.
fourth one.
I think it's a strange one. I think I didn't want her to leave. I guess she will be back at some point. But I'm trying to think. Episode 4 was she left and old Scarecrow was introduced. So I was kind of I was sucked into that, to be honest. Like
Oh yeah,
I was like a big kid again. Like because we've only really seen it in the first Nolan one, and he was in Dark Knight Rises a tiny bit, but
yeah,
as the judge, wasn't he? But he's not really. Scarecrow's never been like a main on the big screen as such, like a main villain kind of thing. We've never really had that, and it's for me. Is I was soon as he was mentioned, I was like, yes. And then when he got to Arkham, I was so excited. And I think the guy playing Scarecrow, I love him. I think
yeah.
he's awesome, mate.
I'm gonna look him up right now.
I just think
Uh,
he's awesome. Like he goes to his cell and he's got a bong under his bed.
yeah,
He pulls a bong out, and I'm like, what? Like,
yeah. He definitely loves to hit the ganja. He's always looking
yeah.
for a lighter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think his performance is what's made those 2 episodes good. But I understand what you're saying. Like this last one in particular, yeah, he's just great. I love him. Um,
He actually, it's funny. I was watching it today, and now that I saw it, I can't unsee it. He looks to me. This is not really the best picture of it, but to me, he looks like. Did you ever watch uh, Home Improvement
of
in the
course.
'90s?
Oh
Yeah,
my god. Yeah, his mate. Is it not Al? What's his name?
Yeah, Al,
It is Al.
Al
Yeah,
Borland.
his sidekick, his little sidekick. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he looks like Al Borland, and like from that moment on, I could
He's
not.
even got the suit on. You've just ruined it for me, man. I'm waiting for him to get a spanner out of his jacket. Do you
Yeah,
know
I
why
can't.
do you know why I used to watch that? Because his next door neighbor was a young Pamela Anderson. That's why I used to watch it.
Oh yeah. Oh, the his
Oh, sorry. Yeah, she was like the helper or
sidekick.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
sidekick
yeah.
on the show. Yeah,
I was
Pamela
like
Anderson.
13, 14, and I was like, wow, it's a female. I like her. Yeah, yeah.
But
Oh, no, you just ow.
yeah, so like, well, and it's just the way he carries himself. I'm hoping to see this Scarecrow evolve into a more menacing version of himself, which seems to be the way they're going. But
Yeah,
like this stoner Scarecrow in the cell is just so laid back. All I
it's.
can it's just Al 100%,
do you-
and it's
I think the reason I think that it's clever is because all the way through this, like I'm thinking, how are they going to portray Jason Todd switching to Red Hood, because that's quite a big thing to try and put on the big screen in terms of how you're going to convince people
Yeah.
that Robin is going to turn evil. So with the manipulation of like the chemicals, the fear, and it plays on everyone, like anyone that's watching. I think for me, like I'm watching it, it plays on your fears of like, imagine you can get rid of fear.
Yeah.
You're not going to feel fear. And it just, I thought again, I just thought it was quite clever how it was done. So but like you say, I want it to be right. We've got that. That's the reason. And I want it to sort of go back into that more darker. And I think they will. I do. I think they will.
Yeah,
Because they've set that tone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they really glossed over that whole death in the family story plot, didn't they? They glossed over that just to get into this Red Hood story.
I think maybe they'll get back to it though, because I don't think they're just going to like let it go. I think they've done that scene. It's similar again. It's similar to how like they did like with Game of Thrones and these shows. They have it all set on this one thing. Something tragic happens, and then we jump over to this other city and have a couple of episodes over there. Then we come back to right. It hits home again, and I think that's what I'm hoping that that's what they'll do.
Yeah. Well, in the episode 5 was, I liked how they did episode 5, and they went back and showed you exactly how like his transformation happened,
That was
and
really.
how
I've really enjoyed that. That was.
Scarecrow was, involved from the beginning of that. Now there are some loopholes that I just could not get past.
Go on then. Yeah, go on.
Well, number one, like this kid just readily going into Arkham Asylum and talking to,
Yeah.
Gotham's worst criminals without any surveillance.
I kind of wondered that myself.
He's just in and out. And then there's that magical part in the basement where, oh, we're safe down here,
Yeah. So what? Yeah, that's one thing. I was like, how come he's got some sort of place in the basement of Arkham? Like what? What? Like
yeah.
again.
Little suspension of disbelief, but it wasn't too bad. But I did like how they went back and revisited how Jason Todd got to where he is. Where do you think Bruce Wayne is, and do you think he's going to come back? Because they've really
So he left with the episode 4, I think it was, wasn't it? Did he leave on episode 4?
It was episode 3.
Oh, with Joker, of course, with
Yeah.
Joker, and then it was right, and then he's left. I think he'll come back if he knows that he's going to find out that he's still alive. So he's not guilty. He's not going to feel guilt. But will he come back? Yeah, but I don't know.
He killed the Joker. That was the whole thing. Like he took that crowbar and killed and beat.
Yeah, he'll come back.
Joker in prison.
He'll come back.
So he's like
I love him as Bruce Wayne. I know he's not like the greatest, but I like him as Bruce Wayne because again, you only see Bruce Wayne in things in very sort of small parts, like in the Nolan films. It's more Batman, Dark Knight, and yeah, I quite like his version. And I think the best scene of him out of the whole lot was the scene outside the theater, and it's got Jason Todd saying, why didn't you treat Dick Grayson like this? Why am I not good enough for it? Why am I not? And it's like you can see him, like his brain breaking down of like, I can see now why he's turning against him. And it's like, I just really enjoyed that scene. I thought it was great. And
I like how they've turned everything back to Bruce Wayne, and like Bruce Wayne is actually just as bad as the Joker. Like I love that concept that they're implementing it. Like you and I think it was Dick Grayson who said, you and the Joker just terrorize this city fighting each other. Yeah, I thought that was really good.
It's pretty messed up when you think about it, because he's getting like young guys or girls to help him join up as this sort of team. He's always done it, and you never hold him accountable for the lives that are lost because of it. But at the same time, I kind of thought, well, there's no as that character, as the Batman character, there's no way he could have done everything on his own anyway. It's just he couldn't have. He needs someone to keep his balance a little bit. Alfred does, but he needs someone else to sort of keep his. I think he would have gone off the rails as a character a lot sooner without that support. But I'm like you, like I love Batman, and it's.
Well, in a weird sense, it's almost like this version of Bruce Wayne is almost like the prequel to the Ben Affleck Bruce
Yeah,
the
it's just
Batman that we
before he
got.
gets to that. Exactly that.
Yeah,
That's again, it's probably why I like it. Yeah.
Which yeah, I mean Jeff Johns, I think he's the one who has the reins behind this, so that wouldn't surprise me. But again, I'm watching it. I'm back. Invested into Titans again. Uh, it's okay. Like when I'm watching it, I'm still very aware I'm watching watered down versions of these characters because
Yeah.
I don't feel their full impact. You know, when I'm watching Beast Boy only turn into a
Yeah, yeah,
tiger,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah,
come on, you know,
yeah.
it's I get it. I'll
It's
hang
still
in
like I
there.
know I understand where you come on. It's still like a reserved version. Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
But you know what I am waiting for? Doom Patrol.
Yeah. All right. But before you do, everyone watch Titans. So next week when you come on, you can catch up with us and we can talk about it. So
Yes.
go and watch Titans and then you can catch up with us and know what we're on about. But
All
Doom
right.
Patrol, oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. That shows fun. It's just fun. Now, did they going off on a little tangent here? Is the Doom Patrol that the season 1 and 2 like is that the same Doom Patrol that was in Titans? Because they don't
Yeah.
act like well,
No, I know. And it's a different what do you call it as well? Professor, what's his name in the wheelchair? It's someone else.
oh yeah,
I
and
forgot his name.
Seth was telling me that the director was saying that no, this is actually
Ah, right, okay.
a different group of a different version of them. It's not the same ones that you saw
Okay.
in because they do not um they don't talk about the Titans or like how they got involved with the Titans at all in Doom Patrol. And I think
Yeah, no, they don't. They
Titans
don't.
was I think Titans had a big part of them getting fully together. I can't remember now. It's been so long since I've seen it, but anyway, I'm ready to get caught up on Doom Patrol
I think
again.
that's I'm not too sure the date that's at. Is that like around the 20th of September, something like it's around that sort of time?
Yes, September 21st seems to
And it's
pop
the
in my
yeah,
head.
it's the first two episodes. Like that's what I mean. I'm a nerd. It's like I've already looked like I think it's like the first two episodes come out and then the rest come out week by week. I think.
Yeah, let
I
me
think
see.
so. But
Doom Patrol season 3.
Doom Patrol caught me off guard, you know, because there were so many shows out at the same time, as we've mentioned before, like The Boys, Umbrella Academy, Titans. There's a lot of this sort of stuff, the Marvel content. Doom Patrol came out, and I was like, right, I'm gonna, see what's going on. And I started watching it, and I was like, instantly addicted. 2 episodes in, I was like,
Yeah.
this is, and that's the thing. It's like I say it before. There's this thing with Marvel and DC's work that you can just tell, even if there was no intro credits and there was no outro credits. If I just watched 2 or 3 episodes of Doom Patrol, you can just tell it's DC. There's always this underlining tone of like oddness, darkness. There's always a character like Crazy Drain who's completely bonkers. And I don't know what it is. I love that sort of content. Like I love Negative Man, Robot Man. I just think they're
Oh yeah, and Brandon
I love.
Fraser is just coming back.
Oh
Like
mate, he's so good.
I'm so happy to see him
Same.
come back. And yeah, he just
Did you know?
that made me remember why I loved Brandon Fraser. So,
Mm. Did you
I'm
know
sorry.
before you started watching it? And like when you began watching it, did you know that he was in it, or did you just?
I don't remember. I, I don't think I did. I don't think I know I did. Yeah, I don't think I knew it was Brandon Fraser when I first started watching it. No.
Yeah,
Um,
because I remember at the beginning, I was just like, oh my god, because I love him obviously because like the Mummy, the California Man, like and as a kid growing up, like I loved all those films. And when I see his name come on, I think it's like Brendan Fraser, and when as soon as Robot Man walks on and that voice, he's got such a distinctive voice, hasn't he? He's got
yeah.
such, oh, it's him. I was like, yes, and I'm over the moon that he's in it. I think he's great.
Well, September 23rd is when the first 2 episodes drop on HBO Max. So I'm
I,
down. I'm sure we'll do a discussion about that.
yeah,
Maybe even a
the,
live watch party. I don't know. I would
it's,
like to.
this,
I would like to get the guys back together and do it a weekly
Yeah, there's
visit with
not a
that.
lot of things where I get mad excited for. Like Titans is one of them. That's what I'm saying. I get excited for Marvel. I do like Marvel content, but I think it was more like the last fate, like the Infinity War and stuff like that. I had this kind of buzz for that, but I don't really have that feeling around the content that Marvel are producing. I mean, I think it's good, but I'm not getting that same, that feeling of excitement for it.
It's just so polished, the Marvel version of it just seems like, yeah, if that's how I would compare Marvel and DC. Marvel is just like prepackaged, polished thing, and DC is just this rustic version of
Do you
people,
know what?
like
Yeah. Season
yeah.
1 of Doom Patrol, ain't it? Like there's like a giant squirrel or something like that comes. There's a squirrel that talks or something,
Oh
or a
yeah,
cockroach, and then they end up giants, and they're like,
yeah.
I,
Who
I,
did that? It was Alan. Who did the voice for that? Because he's actually a big part of the show.
okay.
He also did the voice of Iago in Aladdin.
Oh right, okay, I didn't know that.
Hold on, let me see
And
what his.
that's one of the things again with Doom Patrol that I really enjoy, because you're really not getting kind of what you expect. Yeah, it's superhero based, but the show could kind of be about a circus for a moment, and there's a big story involving a circus. The next minute there's a cat that's 20 foot tall
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
German, and you're like, what like what is going on? And that's what I like about it. It's completely bonkers. It's
Alan Tudyk. That's who does that voice. Alan Tudyk of that
yeah, I'll have
cockroach
to
and
have a
all
look
like
up
the
some.
random
Yeah,
voices that you see.
so
Yeah.
funny. So
All right.
funny.
Well, speaking of Marvel now.
Yep.
Thoughts?
Da-da-da.
Which
This is the first thing I'm honest. I know I said about the project's not being excited for. This is the first thing I'm actually excited for that feels. I know you're saying like the polished look of everything, but I'm excited for this because looking at this, you know what you're going to get. I know I'm going to get a bit of comedy, bit of action. There's going to be a bit of a love story there. I'm just hoping to see Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. We've seen Dr. Octopus, which everyone was going crazy about, but I can't wait to see Green Goblin because I love Green Goblin. I love Willem Dafoe. I think we're just going to get. I think it'll be a very good film. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be a very good film.
I'm looking forward to it as well. This is you went on a big rant about this right here. I watched your video
Yeah,
on
I couldn't
this.
help it. I couldn't help
Yeah,
it.
you went crazy about it.
Yeah,
saying that's so parallel with Batman v Superman, and you're not wrong.
But it is in the comics with Spider-Man. Like Matthew Haynes pointed out that there is scenes like this with a courtroom, and it just I don't know. I think it's I'm going again because people got to remember when you're doing these videos, guys, you're reacting to things, and it's your initial reaction. It's not planned. So whether I'm right or wrong, everyone's got their opinions. But that's kind of the first thing I thought of when I saw that was, hang on, courtroom, police arrested. He's no god, false god, Superman, Batman. I'm like, it kind of gave me those vibes straight away.
Yeah, and I totally felt you with that too. But nowadays, like I'm just so used to like, well, it just happens sometimes.
I know,
like
I know.
these people share so many stories. What's your thoughts on Strange here? Because Strange is, for lack of a better term, acting strange. So
I don't
like,
think it's him because
yeah,
his hair looks black there as well. I don't know if he's just had a bad hair dye job, but
I did notice that the whites on his on the sides were like a little more like cleaned up than normal. Like it just looked like he just put it in himself. Yeah, you're right.
There's something not, like you say, strange. I don't believe that. I'm trying to think. Right, when did we last actually see him in a project? Was it Endgame? Was that what's the the?
Yeah, it was Endgame. He brought everybody back, like to the.
So that right, because and then he was fighting by the water. So I'm trying to think of where we last see him, because is there anything that could link to him not being him? But I don't believe this is him, because my biggest problem with the trailer was, as a lot of people pointed out, for Peter Parker to just go up to Doctor Strange, and go, I want everyone to forget me, and then him to just go, oh, okay, yeah, let's do a spell, and I make it doesn't. That doesn't make sense to his character of who he is. Because if you look back to Iron Man, asking him to do things and not do things, like he's.
Yeah. Oh, he said he threatened Iron Man and Spider-Man.
Oh, that was it. I will not. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
I will not hesitate.
That's it.
If your guys' death is what the result of it, I won't hesitate. Yeah. So Durbin seems to think he's a variant.
That's a
Chris,
very, very
Chris.
big possibility. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's something like that. It's
So Durbin pointed this out to me here. He says, no, he says, look at this, Doctor Strange. He
my
goes,
brain's gonna melt a second. Wait, variant. So I'm trying to think. Right. So the end of Loki. Right. That
yeah,
happened.
when they
Everything
open the
went
book,
mad.
yeah.
Then he could have turned up, and then this film begins. Maybe. Yeah.
Well, take a note here because Durbin brought this up because we did a live discussion about this. He says, "Look at Strange here. His hair looks normal. The place isn't all like, covered in snow and ice." He's like, Durbin thinks that whatever happened in Loki at the end of Loki is what Strange is connecting with right here. So Durbin theorizes that Strange will actually go like to the multiverse, like to try to to figure stuff out. And while he's gone, an evil variant shows up in his place.
Now I don't know if this is completely off the rails, but in the first movie of Doctor Strange, he's in the house. In his house, and he goes through them. There's the window things at the back. One of them goes to China, one of them goes to India, one of them whatever goes to wherever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What? Yeah. What if? Yeah, you're right. It could be a case of. Well, it is. I mean, I think everyone kind of who's watched it would kind of think, well, this dude here isn't him. It's not. That's not the real guy. It's no way that
Yeah.
that's just. And there's snow everywhere. I mean, that pretty much something not right.
Well, yeah, and one thing we theorized about was, okay, well, maybe like the snow is like, maybe this Doctor Strange isn't as good at doing spells, so like he keeps messing up spells, and that's why the house is full of snow and
Yeah,
ice.
yeah.
And
Maybe.
hence another reason why he ends up screwing up, the when he's trying to this spell that he does. But yeah, there's definitely something going on with him, and
That
even
would
more
make
so,
good.
yeah,
That makes perfect sense. That it isn't him. Like you say, it's not him, and he messes up spells, which is why that place is as it is. And when
yeah.
he's trying to do this, he's just not. But I just got a feeling he's evil. He's.
Well, and to solidify that thought is I'm trying to find the shot here. I mean, what's he
Yeah.
doing? What's he doing? He's
But
fighting Spider. He's fighting Spider-Man. Whatever this box is, Durbin and I called it the father box because it looks like a mother box.
Yeah. The father box. Yeah, very good.
Whatever this is, he wants it, and he's gonna do whatever he can to get it from Spidey. So, yeah, I'm still whatever that. This has a lot to do with this movie, and I don't know what this is.
Do you know what? I think that's the real one.
You think?
That's the real Doctor Strange, and
Because his hair's back to being flippy,
he hasn't got a sweater on underneath like he has in the other one. In the other
right?
one, he's got a grey sweater on, and I think the reason he's doing that is because Spider-Man is attacking him, and he's saying, "Stop! It's not. I'm not that guy. It's me."
Very possible. I mean, that's yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't consider that, but it's so hard to derive this
yeah.
stuff. Just from,
But again, it's a good thing. It's a good thing
yeah.
because again, that's what makes it exciting. That's what I'm saying. This looks like an interesting film because you know what you're going to get. You know you're going to get a crazy adventure, and I think it's just going to be wicked.
Yeah, because there's lots of shots where that like this whole train sequence here is him fighting Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And then I tried to pause it. You can't see it. It's so dark. This is where they think it's rumored that Lizard is here,
Maybe.
but it's so dark you can't see him.
Yeah.
Now, here you go. Obviously, we have what looks to be Electro, who's going to be donning the yellow lightning this time. This looks like it could be Sandman. What seems
I would like that.
what seems like way I take it is it looks like Sandman protecting Spidey from
Oh my god, yeah. I didn't even. Do you know what? You've looked at this more than I have. Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like I was thinking about. I made a little post about it the other day. What if um, Doc Ock, Sandman, and who else? It'd just be Doc Ock and Sandman. What if they come back to actually protect him? Because their characters kind of reformed right before their demise, or I guess I don't think Sandman actually died, did he? I
No,
can't. Yeah,
he goes away at the end, doesn't he?
yeah. But he
When-
apologized,
Yeah,
and
yeah, that's
did
it.
his
I loved
thing.
him in it. He was
Yeah,
one of the few things I loved him, the dude in that. I thought he was great.
yeah, and if you look closely, it looks like he's wearing almost the symbiote black suit. I know it's not, but it looks very close to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but then Doc Ock also at the end of Spidey 2 kind of did the same thing, right before he, blew up with his, reactor or whatever in the water,
Mm,
which, by the way, I don't know if you know, but the guy who plays Doc Ock spilled the beans and said, my character, that moment in part 2 when his reactor blows up in the water, that's
yep.
where this Doc Ock is coming from. He's coming from that moment.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Oh my god.
he said, "I know they're gonna be mad at me for spoiling it." He's like, "But I don't care."
That is
So,
crazy. Yeah. I
which
mean,
which
he's a good actor. I mean, as I say, Willem Dafoe as Goblin and him as Octo is he's just so likable. He's such a likable person, and then even though he's the villain, you don't you don't hate him because you can kind of he's lost the wife and
yeah,
he's
you
trying to
feel
put
for him.
things right.
You're emotionally attached to him.
Yeah,
But
he's
just the way he
wonderful.
ends at part 2, and if what the actor said is 100% correct, and he's coming straight from that moment, I don't see any reason why he would be a bad guy. Yeah, him or Sandman.
Because he wanted to put things right. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just my theory,
Oh.
my thought on that.
Yeah, I'm looking. It's what I mean. I am excited for it. Definitely, definitely. But I'm not going to watch any more trailers. Like if that whatever comes out now, because I don't want to see Toby Maguire. I do, of course I do, but I don't. Like I'd rather
yeah.
just sort of go now and be
Yeah,
like,
you,
oh
you you like
wow,
to go in with blinders on, don't you?
yeah. With certain, 'cause I've seen now. I go right. Goblin's going to be there. Octopus, right? I'll get the. I'm cool now. Like I've got my fix. I'm ready.
Yeah.
So
Uh yeah, I think Goblin is going to be one of the big baddies for
I
sure.
can't wait.
Uh,
I can't wait to see him. I love him.
well, there's also one more thing that if I can find it here.
As simple as that. On it. Wait a second. How funny is that? That the world of Marvel fans has a meltdown, a complete meltdown, just because a guy says, "Hello, Peter."
Yeah,
That's all he did. That's all he did.
and they're all assuming that he's talking to this Peter, but
And it
how would
might not.
he know that was Peter?
He wouldn't
Um,
exactly.
so this suit, by the way, I don't know if you've heard this or not. This suit that Tom Holland's wearing right here is the same exact suit that um Tobey Maguire wears in Spider-Man 3 when he takes Mary Jane on the date. That's the same. Like we looked it up side by side. It's the same color, same match, same thread, everything. It's the same exact suit. Um,
Ah.
let me
Are
see
you
if I can.
talking about? You talking about the date with the wedding proposal?
Yeah, let me
That's with
let me
Bruce
look that up.
Campbell,
Let me look
the
that up.
legendary Bruce Campbell of Evil Dead. Yeah, I mean, I love all the original Spider-Mans anyway, and everyone's got like their favorite preferred Spider-Man. But I do think personally, I mean, I like the original, the Doctor Octopus. I mean, I like them all. A lot of people love the Andrew Garfield ones. I watched them again recently, the Andrew Garfield ones, and I think I enjoyed them a little bit more this time around.
Andrew Garfield one is the Amazing Spider-Man is still to this day my absolute
Yeah, that's what
favorite.
I mean. Everyone's got their, but that's fine. That's everyone's got their favorite, that's
Yeah.
cool. But I don't think it was fair again that he only got 2 films because by the second one, I was kind of like warming to his his way and his charm and his cheekiness, and I was like, it's a shame he didn't get another movie. I think it's a bit.
Yeah, yeah, especially how that 2 ended on a cliffhanger and
Yeah,
teased, the Sinister Six and all this stuff. I'm trying to find this suit, Tobey Maguire, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about.
yeah, that scene is so funny in Spider-Man 3 with the ring. So funny.
Yeah, here it is. So yeah, this is the suit right here. That's the exact same thing that Tom's wearing right there. I wonder if we can get a better shot of that suit. And you can, it's not really a better shot, but you can see it's like the same
Yeah, yeah,
material,
yeah.
everything. So that raises a lot more questions.
Do you know what I was going to say? It looks like it's not the same suit, but when you said that, you know what I thought you was going to say? It looked like the suit that Stark had on the first Iron Man. I know it's got nothing to do with it, but I remember when he's
Oh,
in the Jeep and he's got a grey suit on.
oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I bet it's got nothing to do with it. It's just when you said it, I'm like, is he going to say Tony Stark? I don't know why I thought that, but
No,
I,
so
I mean, even if we don't get Tobey Maguire and Garfield, I think it will still be a very good movie, but I do think they'll be in it. But I think it's opened the doors now for that to happen anyway,
yeah.
even if it isn't in this. So,
Yeah,
um,
I think what I was telling Seth was, and Durbin, when we were talking about this, was I would almost like to see them show up at the very end to say that we're going to be in the next movie, like full force into the next movie. I would
yeah,
almost like to
yeah,
see them show up at the very end, but I don't know. Well, either way, I'm excited for it. December 17th, good Christmas movie. And
definitely.
it's won me over for sure. Cause
Yeah,
I'm,
definitely.
I'm, I'm totally down for, these multiverses opening up in DC and in Marvel, and that's the Flash is one that I'm really, really looking forward to.
Mm.
Bringing back Michael Keaton, even bringing back Ben Affleck, who is doing more than just showing up. Like there's set photos where his stuntman is wearing the suit and
Yeah, yeah, I saw the photos. Yeah,
yeah, so like he's actually going to be doing something. So it's a good time to be comic book movie lovers.
definitely,
So,
definitely.
well, I was going to touch base on one more thing and kind of gauge your reaction on it. It's not
Yep.
really movie related at
Before
all.
you do, let me just because there's someone knocking at my door. I shall be 1 second. I shall
Oh,
be
okay.
1 second. Entertain people with your gloriousness.
All right. Let's see here.
Apologies, sir.
Oh, no worries. Did your pizza get ordered?
No,
Or?
no, no. I've already eaten. I've already eaten. It was one of the neighbours.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to get your thoughts on this. Again, not movie related, but does fall under the umbrella of entertainment.
Ah, okay.
Never the child pornography lawsuit against everybody in Nirvana.
I've-
Because the kid, he's 30 now, wants to sue them for child pornography. This is absolutely absurd. But according to this article, it's probably going to get thrown out of court anyway. But I just wanted to gauge your response on that real quick. See
I
if
think
I
it's
don't know if you're a Nirvana fan or
yeah,
what,
yeah,
but
of course, yeah, yeah, of course. I think it's ludicrous. One, that photo wouldn't have been taken in the first place without permission of parents. Where did they get a baby from? I'm just being serious. Like
yeah.
parents, parents.
Yeah,
So
the photographer was actually good friends with the baby's dad, and he's like, "Hey, I'm doing a photo shoot for a band. Do you want to throw your baby in a pool and take some photos? I'll give you $200." And that's how it happened. That's how they
yep,
got this,
yep,
And I mean, this kid has since then has recreated this photo like every
Yeah, I
10
think
years,
yeah.
promoting it, and now he's just trying to cash grab, right? Is
I
that
think there's a couple of things, right? If I look at it on the fence and go, look, from a impartial, what I don't know what the right word is, but from a middle ground, I would say, look, if it was, say it was me and I go, right, I'm on a cover, I want to get something out of it. It's not right that I was used as a baby. There's not really a lot you can do. If I really wanted to do something, I'd approach the band and say, look, I want, if the album continues to sell and it's that image is being used, I want a percentage or whatever. But then at the same time, you can't, because those, whoever Nirvana's back catalogue is signed to, is already going to be wrapped up in contracts of who owns what or whatever. So you can't just, it's not like you can just go, oh, here's a certain percent of something. It just doesn't work like that.
right?
Um,
I mean,
I, I
his
don't
deal is
know.
done. His deal is done. His parents got paid $200, and
Yeah. And
this is it.
the other thing as well that this opens up as well is when this happened, I looked up. I was just looking up like 80s albums, 70s albums, and the amount of albums that have just got people on it, like models or someone in the street with a cigarette in black and white kind of album cover. Like there's thousands of albums. What's
Yeah.
stopping these people coming forward then and saying, "Hang on, I only got paid £150 for that thing. I want some money now." It opens up Pandora's box into absurdity. I think
Well,
it's
it would if he actually won the lawsuit. Then
yeah.
but
I don't think
I don't think it's. I think everyone sees this as what it is. I think a clear and obvious cash grab. I mean,
do you know what? Dave Grohl and all them, I think out of the goodness of their hearts, just because they're mega rich, I think they'll just go, here's 100 grand anyway, shut up. And I think, and he'll be quiet. That's what I think. Something like that will happen. Because it doesn't
maybe.
really, but
I mean,
even so, like, why should they? Like, you know what I mean?
yeah. Why
It's,
should they? That's
yeah.
that's that's you're just telling people, like you said, you can do this. Okay, well, if you do this, then we'll pay you a little bit to shut up about it. Oh, okay. Well, then people will start coming out of the woodwork. I
Because
don't think this is going to go anywhere. I think this is backfired in this dude's face. It was an
it's a
obvious.
strange one, isn't it? It really is a strange, um, it's a strange one. Like, I read
Well,
that
yeah, I mean, because
the guys,
what makes pornography pornography?
mm,
Pornography is when you sexualize something.
mm. Yeah, but you see what he was trying to say is that he's a naked kid grabbing for money, and he said it's like it's him taking money for being a trick.
Oh
He's a
yeah,
baby. I mean, come on, dude.
I'm
Like,
sure it has nothing to do with the corporate greed or or down with the establishment sort of baiting you at childhood. I'm sure
yeah,
Nirvana wouldn't speak of something like that. So
yeah, I don't know. I think it's it will get thrown out. It's just it's a bizarre one. I mean, it is one of the most iconic album covers of all time, though. It's like
yeah,
even if you're not even into like one of my friends at school in particular. I'm going to make you laugh, man. My friends was into Guns N' Roses and Nirvana, and do you know, I loved Extreme. Do you remember them?
extreme.
Yeah, I was a fanatic.
Is that the more than words? Is that them?
Yeah, I was crazy into them. I saw them when I was about 12.
Yeah, I love that song with them.
Yeah, I was into their stuff. Then I got into like Marilyn Manson and flipping Slipknot and
Oh
God
yeah,
knows I'm fanatic for all of that stuff. Nirvana as well. Yeah, but I just
I'm a
think
huge
like
Slipknot fan.
oh really? Oh, I was
Yep,
yeah, well Joey. Yeah, it's yeah, the Nirvana thing, I think it's just a
it's dumb.
yeah.
I don't know why. It's just a hot topic. I wanted to bring it up here.
Yeah, of course.
Just chat about it for a second. So, is there anything else you want to add to this stream news
Um
wise, or anything that I didn't touch on? Maybe.
what have we watched? Is there anything? Oh my god, I don't know whether it's worth mentioning, but I might as well just do it because it's this week. I'm really, really no, I should save it for next week because more people would have seen it. I'm really upset with the Candyman movie. Like,
Oh, I haven't watched it yet. So,
yeah, I'm so angry about it. But you know,
uh,
it's
that
everyone's got their own opinion on what they think on films, and if you enjoyed the movie, great for you. But I just found it, um, I found it insulting to the original film. Like, I know that's a harsh thing to say, but I think we discussed this as well. Like, you loved Nightmare on Elm Street and Freddy and stuff. And for me, Candyman was such a big part of my life growing up. It just, the character, his backstory. I bought loads of books, Candyman books, and then, like, his backstory is so tragic. It's like a love story. It's such a tragic story. This new film is. I don't. Do I give spoilers away or not? I don't know, because I don't want to ruin it for anyone. Do you see what I mean?
I haven't seen it yet. Why don't we?
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
Let's put a pin in that.
Yeah.
And discuss it next. Is it only out in theaters or is it streaming?
Yeah, theaters only. It's just, but I won't go into spoilers. But all I'll say is that. All I'll say is that there's a very, very important backstory to the character as to why he is who he is and how he got how he is. This movie just kind of goes, "There, don't worry about that." And I can't, as a viewer and lover of the original, I can't get past that. So when I'm watching it, I'm like, that doesn't make sense. So for me, that's what I'm saying. It's like Freddy Krueger. You know what Freddy Krueger is, you know, or Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th. He drowns in a lake because he was neglected. That's his That's his story of what happened to him. If you change that essence of the character and just go, no, it's not that. It's a guy who works down the shop who got hit by a car. He's now Jason. I'm just like, well, it ain't Jason then, is it? That's what I'm trying to say. It's got that kind of, there's a twist in it like that. And I'm like, no, I don't buy it. So, and I wanted to love it because I love Candyman. But yeah, I'll wait until people have.
Yeah, I'm going to have to rewatch the first one. It's been a long time since I've seen Candyman. I tried to watch the second one and I
the second one's not. The second one's not as good. It's definitely not. I think the first one is a standalone. The soundtrack is. Oh my god!
Was the soundtrack good in this one? The new one?
It's okay, but it doesn't really. Again, it doesn't use a lot of Philip Glass, who done the original soundtrack. It doesn't. It has like, like little snippets. Again, it doesn't have the theme. It's like again having Freddy Krueger's without 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. If you don't have that in it, you can't have the skipping rope girls with another song. Do you know what I'm saying? It's that. It's like you can't have the girls skipping around and go ring a rose. It's like, well, that ain't Freddy then. Like,
that's a good point, man. That's a.
I think again, I'm not like, guys. I know I sound harsh. I'm not like this with 99% of things. It's only really like your Batmans. And a couple of horror characters that I'm passionate about. I'm not like this with a lot of things, but when you're passionate about something and someone just goes, nah, don't worry about it, let's just change it, you're gonna, get backlash from people. But a general consensus is, though, that people love it. So do go and watch it, because I'm just me, it's just my view. But the general consensus out there is a lot of people really like it. So you should go and watch it.
Yeah, I agree. Always give something a chance. Don't just jump on the train and say, oh, everyone says this movie sucks, so I'm not going to watch it. I mean, I have plenty of movies that, heck, Batman v Superman, one of them, so divisive.
Do you like it, or do you not like the Batman versus Superman?
I love it.
It's
I considered it one of my favorite movies, like, of all time. Like, I've always talked about Batman v Superman as what my experience watching that movie is what I feel like people experienced when they went and saw Wizard of Oz in theater. This huge, like, back when it came out, like this huge theatrical event.
I don't know what's about. Like, I like the. It's a crazy one. When that was first getting made, I was well against it, because I was like, Ben Affleck is Batman. I was like, no, this is going to be so bad. Yeah, and I was saying to everyone,
everybody felt that way.
Yeah, I was like, don't go and watch this. This is. It's not that I don't think he's a good actor. He is a good actor, but I'm like, I'm not buying this.
We still had the bad taste of Daredevil in her mouth,
Yeah. I just kind of like, I can't see him as Batman. And when it came out and everything sort of fell into place, and I did watch it, I was like, this guy is amazing as Batman. And it just, and now I'm kind of like that. Is the Zack Snyder's Justice League a better film, or the Ultimate Edition of Batman versus? I don't know what I prefer more. The only thing, sorry. There's one thing that really, really bugs me in Justice League. And it's only one thing. There's the Batman theme. Dun, 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 the main. That's not in Justice League, man. How can you have
Is it? It's in one shot. And I thought it was beautifully done when
you're going to say the bit with the Joker.
No, when Deathstroke shows up, you hear dun, 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 dun.
Oh, is it there?
Yeah, and that tells me like
Right. Okay.
whatever Zach was planning, that brutal Batman, that thing that
That
essence was
music.
gonna that essence was gonna be put onto Deathstroke. Deathstroke was gonna be that.
Oh,
Dun, dun, dun,
uh,
dun, dun.
do you know what it is? That I think that's one of the things that drew me into the film in the first place. Because when I listen to like a lot of soundtracks when a film's coming out, like I think that the Justice League soundtrack brilliant, and I remember the Batman versus Superman coming out. I thought, right, I'll watch it. I'll listen to the soundtrack. And I was like, this music is so good. And it got to that end one, track 13 or 14, Men Are Still Good. It's like 12 minutes or whatever it is. And that Batman theme comes. I was like, this is amazing. Like, I can't get my head because Batman's got such an iconic past of it's like the Superman theme. It is what it is kind of thing. You can't top it. Nolan made great. I think that was Hans Zimmer as well, wasn't it? Who done the
Yeah,
Christopher
well,
Nolan
Ham Zimmer did the Batman theme for Nolan, but Junkie XL did the Batman theme for Batman v Superman. Actually, Hans Zimmerman, he actually said, "Yeah, I've already been part of that." He's like, "I've already put my emotions in for that Batman." So he handed that over to Junkie XL. So
and it's just, and I can't, because it is when someone does that, you kind of think of the original Cape Crusader Batman and think da 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 da, and you think, right, it's going to be that, or is it going to be the Nolan Batman music is just it's brilliant, it's so great. But when this one came out, I can't get my head passed around. I can't think there'll be something better than that as a Batman theme. I think it's just it's so aggressive and it sums up to me what Batman is. It's wonderful. But sorry
man,
to
how great
I
would it
love
be
it.
to have a whole movie of that Batman with that Batman theme?
No, like honestly, that's all I want. That's the only problem I actually genuinely had with Justice League because I was because like Diana, what's her name?
Prince.
What? Yeah, Princess. She's got her music's great anyway with the guitars, like the guitars. Everyone's got their bit. I was waiting for a scene with Batman to come in with just give the dude 60 seconds with that. I was waiting for him to have a fight with Steppenwolf or someone to have it. I was just waiting because it didn't come. I was like, but that's just fan.
Yeah, well, but it makes sense to him evolving, as a character, which is why I said, like when it does show up, when Deathstroke shows up, and it's very quiet, it's very faint.
I'm gonna have to have a.
Yeah, I just fast forward to that part and just when
they can't not carry that on. Like, how can you have seriously? How can you have like a 4-hour movie like that sets up like I thought Cyborg was brilliant in it, and like the Joss Whedon one, Cyborg was just and Flash, they're just like Flash as well. It's like and in this, it was just it kind of felt like everyone got their own 45 minutes of a short film each, like.
Yep.
And at the end of it with Cyborg, I was like, that scene, right? Everyone's got their favorite scene. That scene with Steppenwolf and Cyborg's dad is in the enclosure and he commits suicide and Cyborg screaming at mate, that destroyed me. I was like, this dude's amazing. Like, and by the end of it, that's what I'm saying. You can't leave with the characters they've just built there. Steppenwolf, Darkseid, the thing closing up. I'm like, you can't leave it like that. Like,
apparently they can.
Can't. I'm still gonna fight on. I'm still gonna fight that cause for that.
Well, I believe they're continuing that story through an animated version, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, I don't really know the details too much on that, but I do know I've heard that a few times.
So that's going to be honest to God. That I think that's going to go down as one of the biggest misfires and tragic losses in superhero or action history, because in 20 years time you're going to look back and it'll be like, why did you not? Everyone will look back and go, what if? Like, why did that not happen? Like, what was you thinking?
People are doing that now.
Yeah, it kind of. Do you know what it feels like? It felt like to me. I know you've all heard these conversations millions of times, so I'm sorry. It's just I've not really had a chance to get this out, and it feels like the end of that Justice League movie felt like DC have gone, boom, we've got it right. Here we go, we've got it right. Like it's like when Iron Man first came out. Aha, we found the formula. This is what works. Let's stop now.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I mean, that I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
I've been down that rabbit hole plenty of
It's such
times,
a
and I have.
it's such a shame as well because because it was a 4-hour film, and I know some people are like, it's too long and that, but for me, I was like, I couldn't believe what I was watching. I'm like, I've actually got. It's like having Infinity War and Endgame as one movie. It's just like,
Yeah.
wow, like that's amazing. But you
Yeah,
know,
it's I still put it on sometimes when I'm like laying down about to go to bed or something. I'll put it on and just start
yeah,
watching, fall asleep. Not because it's bad, because I'm just tired, but like I still put it on all the time. It's such a
I,
great
lo-
ambient.
I
Uh,
love that opening scene as well. I don't know why I love that so much with the super.
well, I think
It's
number
just
one, it's
wonderful.
because everyone remembers the opening scene in Justice League when the mustache, the kids.
Oh no.
Have you ever saved any hippos or something like that? Whatever, hope is like your car keys. Like, Jesus Christ, dude, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like, uh,
I don't know. I know Warner want to do things their own way and they want to change, but I just find like genuinely, not just as like a fanboy, but just trying to think like logically as someone that watches. Do you watch films? We all watch movies, but it's pretty obvious that if they said right now, right, Zach, you've got 3 years, go off and do a sequel, is 150 million, whatever it is. Do you think people will go for it? Millions of people will be hyped up to. It's obvious. It's like it's there. The ticket is there. I can't get my head around the logic with Warner with that because it's like a guaranteed victory. It's like saying, "Yeah, you put in 150, we'll give you back $1 billion." No, we don't want that. It
yeah,
doesn't. I don't understand the logic with it. I
yeah,
just don't.
they're allergic to money. That's what it feels like. They're
Yeah, I don't
allergic
understand.
to good
It's a
stuff.
weird one. It's a weird one. Like if they were still making Twilight movies and it was Twilight 12 and it was still making $1 billion, well, do it. Fast and the Furious are doing it. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it.
What's up, Aaron? I appreciate you stopping in. We're actually just finishing up. We ended it somehow, like, we stopped with the news, and now we're just talking about the Snyder cut and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
Ramon and
gonna
I have
watch that. I'm gonna watch it in a minute now. You just put me in the mood for that.
Ramon and I have never really discussed our uh, our passions for these movies together. So
Yeah,
yeah, Ramon, I'm gonna send you some links to some YouTube videos that I made that like hashtag release a Snyder cut.
yeah.
I'll send you some
But
stuff I think you'll
but
enjoy.
again, but again, you got to go. Well, you know what? How on earth did fans get pushed for that and actually get that to happen? I think it's still a phenomenal victory because that's that doesn't happen. It doesn't
No,
happen. You don't hassle a studio that much and they fold to it. And
well, they didn't. That's the underlying like biggest problem with this whole situation is Warner Brothers never came back and said, "Okay, all right, we screwed up." No, Warner Media, um, the uh, the HBO Max, Warner Media, which is the subsidiary that was created when AT&T and Warner Brothers merged together.
right,
That's what HBO Max is. It's Warner Media. It's actually not
oh, I
Warner
didn't realize.
Brothers.
Okay,
Yeah,
oh, I
it's not
see.
Warner Brothers, but what Warner Brothers did was when they made that subsidiary, they told them you can use whatever property we have, you can use it and do whatever you want with it.
So what's stopping Warner Media? If you're saying is Warner Media, what is stopping Zack Snyder being involved on that side and making something directly for HBO Max? Then
I don't think there is anything specifically, but I do know that when the merger happened, Warner Media said, "Okay, well, we're actually going to let Zack Snyder do his version of this movie, and we're going to start an investigation against Warner Brothers, about what everything that happened here."
yeah,
And I think somewhere along the line, this is about the time I started falling out of the Snyder Cut
yeah.
thing. But so I believe something happened. I think they came back in and redid contracts, and now like they're putting the hammer down on Warner Media not to do anything else with Zack Snyder. I don't know. I don't know the details of that.
Because again, that's what I'm saying. It's not even that I care about it. Like, of course, I want it on the big screen. But if they said it's going to come out in 3-4 years, it's going to be $25 or whatever it is going to be to rent or whatever, I'll go, you know what? Take my money now. For 3 years' time, take it. If I knew that was coming, that's what I'm saying. The fans love it that much. They will. It just it's going to be one of those. It really is.
Well, never say never, man. Never say never. So I mean, 4 years ago, we were never going to get the Snyder Cut release. So.
Oh man, I'll go on a stream. I'm not one to go and do all of that overreacting, screaming stuff for trailers. I will go on a stream and I'll cry if that happens. Like because it was, for me, it was so good to leave on that cliffhanger and seeing like bad Superman and what that version of the Joker, Harley Quinn dead. I was like, oh mate, like it could just be so great. But you know, we can dream.
Yep, we can dream. All right, Ramon, I got to get going. I got a gig coming up here I got to get to. So I appreciate you hanging out with me. Aaron White, thank you for hanging out with me or catching at the end. Ramon, stick around. I'll catch you here backstage in just a little bit. Let me get this closed out. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And, oh, yeah, and if you want to check out Ramon's channel, you can go to the description of the video. There's a link to his channel there. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.